Hey Knights! So I'm going to actually, I'm going to finish off the Why Me, Why the No Life King story, and then after having finished filming this whole little last half of this book, I'm going to post up another clip of me reading the Black Butler fanfiction that I was reading a while ago. Yeah, new wording. And then I'm going to add some more to the Doctor Who fanfiction. Okay, so I'm on chapter 9 for the Why Me, Why the No Life King. So chapter 9, is this the feeling of love? The only thing that had been on my mind was Alucard. We have not spoken yesterday. He usually visits my room and tries to annoy me, which obviously fails. I was getting worried and felt really bad now. This could be all my fault. I will always be a horrid creature that was meant to die. We'll have to speak eventually because we are going on a mission today. I am his fake fiancé. This should be fun. I'm already worried about the dandy man. He doesn't scare me, but Alucard will get hurt. What am I saying? He makes it out alive. I shouldn't be worried at all. This is not the best of episodes, but I won't back down. I hope me and Alucard can talk. Time skip. We finally arrived in Puerto Rico. He hypnotized the man at the counter and we went up to the room. I walked up to him and about to burst out into tears. Not talking to him hurts me for some reason. Here I go. Did you want something, princess? He said, barely smiling. I wanted to see why you weren't talking to me, but you don't have to answer. I just thought it was my fault that you were ignoring me, I said in a low tone with my head down. I wasn't ignoring you, but giving you time away from me. I thought that I was scaring you when I drank your blood. It was never your fault, princess, he said, staring at me with a grin. You didn't scare me, but I scared myself. I put thoughts into my own head. I have to be honest with you. I actually don't want to be on this particular mission for the reason I might not return to Hellsing. Humans are always filled with fear. You're claiming to scare yourself, but you claim to scare yourself. It basically of your own mind. You will return to Hellsing. I was glad that I got to talk to him. He made me feel, better. I guess this is what I have been feeling. I was thinking it was love, but that would be crazy. He would never love me back anyways. Just as I was walking back into the hotel after a little walk outside near the hotel room were noises, I realized what was happening. The fight had just begun. I made my way into the hotel to Alucard. That was when I heard him say, "It is her kind, those people who are trying to kill us." I ran around the corner to hear him say that. Was he referring to me? Either way, it hurt to even think about it. I decided to retreat after hearing that. I was running, but not before I even moved. Alucard spotted me. His face was still in my mind as I ran. I ran straight into the dandy man. This was not my day. I fell, and he just stared at me. Even crying was not an option. He soon had me pinned to the wall with cards. It didn't just hurt. It made me want to rip out my eyes. I still accepted that I will die, and that wasn't going to change. Let her go. She is mine. It was Alucard. Why would I do that? She is already going to die of blood loss, the dandy man said. I still want her. I guess you will never get her back. You'll not get her back alive or dead. This upset Alucard. The guys soon fought, and I managed to get free. I was getting dizzy when I saw Alucard about to get attacked by cards. I quickly jumped in front of him, and it hurt. I didn't care, though, because I would let him die. Everything soon faded to black, and my heartbeat stopped. I wasn't sure where I was. There was nothing, just pitch black. Then I heard a familiar voice. It was Alucard's. Clara, don't die. I don't want you to be a monster like me, but your life can't be spared. Why did you do it? I need you. Please, wake up, he said in a smooth tone. I opened my eyes to see a black ceiling. I heard an engine and some voices. I tried to get up, but it stung. Alucard's face met mine, and I felt my face turn at least 50 shades of red. He just smiled and kept staring into my eyes. Why did you do it? He asked. I did it because I love you. I don't care if you don't love me, I said, turning more red. Alucard's point of view. Hearing her said that made my heart feel like it was beating again. After she jumped in front of me, my world seemed to stop. She risked her life for me, and when she knows that I am immortal. I love her, but this means we are mates. This could get her killed. I can't live without her. I love you too. This means that we are mates. Do you understand? I understand completely. I'm glad that we are mates, but does this mean that I am a vampire, or you have to turn me straight away? You are not a vampire. I will not turn you till I am sure we can, or you can stay human. I would like to be turned when I'm about to die, and I need help. And I need some help because I can't move my body right now. With those words, I nodded. I gave her some of my blood to heal the wounds. I can't wait to tell my master. Chapter 10. My Lover, My Warrior. 3 months have gone by since the dandy man almost killed me. Alucard and I have already told Sir Integra. She didn't object to it, but merely told us that we would have to be quiet about it. It didn't seem like a problem. I have no family, nothing to get in touch with them. Wait, my phone and Kindle. I quickly ran upstairs, not worrying about what they would do or say. I reached for my backpack and got my phone. I looked at it and found out I had 30 voicemails, plus over 100 messages. They do miss me. I wish I could see them one last time, but it wouldn't do any good. I have to be stronger than I have ever been. Looking behind me, Alucard, Saras, and Integra were behind me. They seemed shocked at what I was doing. I had no choice but to tell them. It can't be helped. Please don't get angry with me. I had my phone and I saw that they were trying to contact me, but I would never try to contact them. I can't even go back, so what is the point? I slowed down at the last words. I can understand, and we all trust you. Can you not do that again? You had me worried, and we do have to discuss something with you, Alucard said, eyeing Integra. I felt so much better, now knowing that I wasn't going to die. I was about to put my phone away when I saw something in the corner of my eye. I turned slowly to see a woman. She looked to be in her 20s. No one else saw her, because they were staring at me in confusion. She had to be a ghost. This was just great. Clara, they cannot see me, for I'm only seen by you. Listen, tonight at midnight you will become ruler of all witches. You will also realize the truth. I am Eleanor Strander, and me and my 2 sisters had made a deal with Satan to be the first ever witches. Listen, you might not live. Beware, she said, and then vanished. My head hurt and I felt dizzy. They all looked at me scared. Alucard came face to face with me, which was scary, in a way. I looked at him, about to cry. Mainly, my head was getting worse. Why was I getting hurt? What did you see? Are you all right? Answer me, Alucard said in a distressed tone. It was a ghost. My head, I said, barely able to talk. They all looked at each other, and then me. Then my body went numb, and then back to normal. I felt so weird. A voice in my head said, tonight, at midnight, you'll have to be on the lake in the woods. Be strong for your lover. I couldn't concentrate. With every breath, my chest hurt worse. I could tell Alucard knew it, too. She said at midnight I have to be on the lake in the woods. She said she sold her soul, along with her sisters, to be the first witches, and I'll be ruler of them all. She says she is a deceased family member. Speaking these words made me tremble, in fear and pain. You are dying. I can feel it. Please, hold on, Alucard said. I got up and looked at Integra. Midnight was in 4 hours. I will not give up. I will do this. Alucard was standing in back of me in case I had fallen. We talked it out in Integra's office, and time passed quick, but the pain worsened, and I looked to my watch only to see 30 minutes left. I couldn't breathe. I fell to the floor coughing up blood. My heart skipped a beat, which left me gasping for air. I tried to get up, but it was no use. The lights faded to black. Everyone disappeared, and the darkness consumed me. Was this it? Alucard's point of view. She explained everything as best she could. Integra and I were trying to make sense of it, and Sarah's barely had anything. I was really worried. We only had 30 minutes left. That was when Clara fell to the floor, coughing up blood. I felt her heart skip a beat. This was really bad. I couldn't lose her. I wasn't going to let this happen again. I saw her slowly leave me. I quickly took her out to the forest, while her weightless body barely made any signs of life. I saw the lake and looked at the time. I had 5 more minutes. I placed her beside the river, only to see the other creatures step out of the woods. At first I was about to attack, but they stopped. We aren't here to hurt her. Us witches, sirens, werewolves, and many others are here to watch her. I am Amelia, queen of the sirens, queen of the mermaids, Amelia said. I was cautious, but placed her in the middle of the lake. I was going to take her out when she started to change. Her brown hair suddenly became red with black streaks. Her clothes changed into a dark red dress that was see-through at her legs. She suddenly had black and red wings and looked so beautiful. She woke up surprised. She was above the water, not even wet. She walked over to me, literally walking on water. Her eyes were a yellow color. She had a dark aura, but it was also a good one. What has she become? Chapter 11. The Monster Inside of Me. Right? It says 11? Yeah. Okay. My last thought was of Alucard. This was until everything stopped. A man dressed in red and black came over to me. His eyes were black with red-colored eyes. I wasn't afraid of him, but he seemed familiar. I knew this was it. I was really dead, and I failed. I am a failure. This is just great. Clara, my darling Clara, you have finally come to visit your father. I've been expecting you, he said sadistically. You aren't my father. Who are you? I asked without fear. My name is well known. I am Satan, and I am biologically speaking your father. Your mom couldn't have kids, and she met me. It was on accident, but we talked and we started going out. But she's in a relationship with someone else. One thing led to another, and here you are, Satan said with a smug grin. So if you're my father, then this means that I am technically evil. That depends on your choice, but you are a Briar Rose, my daughter. You are also the goddess of war and calamity, plus the ruler of all witches and princess of hell. I understand, but I want to live because I love someone. I want to be around him forever. I made a promise. I already know, but I have some information for you. I want to know. Once in water, you will grow a tail. You have wings. You can create a false heartbeat. You have an infinite number of powers. You are the balance between good and evil. Finally, when you are 21, you will stop aging. I understand. I will see you soon. With those words, I opened my eyes. I stood up above the water. The moon was above me, and I was at the lake. Alucard was there, and he was staring at me. He was shocked and amazed, but there were other people here. I didn't mind, though. I walked towards Alucard. He seems to be looking at my eyes, and it was weird. My eye color possibly did change. It could be possible. I came as close to his face as I could. This time I was on land. His eyeglasses weren't on, so I saw his eyes. It is nice to see you once more, Alucard. I am sorry that I have failed you, but I came back for you. I found out some new information, I said, still staring at him. I have something to tell you. We will talk with the others, he said, still in shock. While I was walking, I noticed what I was wearing. It was black and red. I loved it. It fit me perfectly and came down to just below my knees. It was perfect for fighting in. Before I knew it, we were in Integra's office. The others stood up while looking at me. They were shocked, but never did say anything. I guess this is what I get for dying. I looked around, only to see the pool of blood I had coughed up. It really wasn't the best thing to see. Alucard brought over a mirror, and I looked at my yellow eyes. They didn't look that bad. It was shocking, though. We all sat down, and I told them everything. They almost fell off their chairs. I still had emotion, but it didn't really faze me. Alucard was fine with it, but he kept eyeing me. I wanted to be back to normal, so at least I could fit in. Everyone was eyeing me, this time with their mouths open. Everyone but Alucard. I decided to get the mirror. I was back to normal, but my naturally brown hair was red and black streaks. My eyes were back to normal. Are you still working with us, Clara? Integra said, composing herself. Yes, I am, Sir Integra. My real name is Briar Rose, I said calmly, not showing any emotion. I will take that into consideration. Do you still sleep, and if so, what time? I can sleep during the night. Fine. Stay with Alucard for tonight, mainly because you died in front of him. I did as she said and followed him. We went down into the basement. I was about to say something, but my mouth wouldn't let me. I didn't regret anything, strangely. I just wanted to be with him. I love him, for now and forever. Suddenly, Alucard stopped. You made me think that I would never hear your voice again. After this whole experience, do you still love me? Alucard said, not smiling. Can't believe you're asking me that question. I will love you for now and forever. I don't want to even think without you, I said, not looking away. Prove it. He knocked me into the wall. He held me up against the wall and wouldn't let go. He kissed me more desperately and passionately than before. I kissed back passionately. He let go of my hands and put his hands on my waist. I could tell where this was going, but I was 13. I broke the kiss and stared straight at him. Chapter 12? I think this is 12. Yeah, this is chapter 12, so then the last chapter was chapter 11 and not chapter 10. Okay. Chapter 12. Is this what love feels like? I've never had a doubt in my mind when it came to loving Alucard. I still don't, but I don't want to rush things either. I haven't spoke to him in a week since the kiss. That was my first kiss, and I'm still freaking out. Not by the first kiss part, but I am literally avoiding him because I don't know if he still is mad at me. Just thinking about it makes me want to cry, but I only cry blood. I want to talk to him, but I don't know what he will say. He probably thinks that I don't love him, which isn't even true. I have to stop focusing on this and think of more positive things. We did get even more information on Molinism and what they stand for. We are doing very well, and that would have to be the most positive thing to think of right now. Knowing that we are all making progress is more than a miracle, and I'm very thankful of that. I may not seem like it, mainly because I barely show emotion. I don't want Alucard to see me when I have bloody tears streaming down my face. Suddenly Alucard came into my room fuming. This wasn't a good sign. He knocked me into the wall and held both of my hands to the wall. Before I could say anything, he pressed his lips against mine. It was rough, but after a few seconds it became passionate. I melted into the kiss, not worrying about anything. His tongue rubbed against my bottom lip, begging for an entrance, and I refused. He grabbed me near my waist, which made me gasp, letting him enter my wet cavern. I moaned as his tongue played with mine. We stood there for what seemed to be an eternity. He broke the kiss, leaving a string of saliva. What were you doing? I said, confused. I believe we were kissing, which isn't that hard to guess. I'm sure that I didn't knock your head into the wall that hard, he said, laughing, still blocking me from moving away. I know that, but I thought you didn't think I loved you. That isn't true, but you scared me when you died. I can't be without you. I understand, but I do have to tell you something. Please tell me, my darling princess. When I came back from the dead and we kissed, that was my first kiss. Alucard's point of view. That was her first kiss. I didn't even know, which is probably why she broke the kiss abruptly. I love her and literally can't be without her. When she was avoiding me, I almost went insane. Well, if you could have told me that earlier, it is nothing to be ashamed of, I said, trying to make her feel better, but still saying it with a smile. I am sorry for avoiding you, she said innocently. Shall we continue where we left off? Only if we don't take things too far, mainly because I'm 13. Do you have to spoil the fun? I said teasingly. I couldn't let her leave me again. I wanted to take her right here and now, but I did have to restrain myself. It isn't 500 years ago, and she is young. I quickly pressed my lips to hers and pulled her closer. Clara's point of view. He pressed his lips to mine and pulled me closer. I melted into the kiss again as he held me close. Since we are both undead, we don't need to breathe. I lusted for him more than anything. His hand soon found its way into my shirt, and as he put his hand on my stomach, making me gasp again. After exploring my wet cavern, he explored my neck. He looked up at me, and I guessed what he was going to do, so I nodded. He bit down and started to drink my blood. It did hurt, but a rush of ecstasy ran through my body. It made me moan, and Alucard seemed to be enjoying himself as well. I didn't want this moment to stop, but Alucard had to go to Integra. I was sad, but I knew he had to go. I healed my neck within a few seconds, and I was called to Integra's office. Chapter 13. Is this the end? We arrived at Sir Integra's office, only to find out that she was furious. That was expected. By my guess, Rip Van Winkle had taken over that ship. The war had just begun, and I knew what was to happen. I couldn't stay to listen, because I didn't want to see Alucard disappear from my life. I couldn't bear it. So while Sir Integra was talking, I ran out of the room. I quickly locked my bedroom door. Ever since the night of my death, I was faster than Alucard. It came in handy, but right now I had no choice but to be alone. I didn't want him to see me crying, especially blood. I heard knocking on my door and ignored it. After a few moments it stopped. I was glad, until Alucard came through the door and over to me. I was sitting against the wall with my face covered in bloody tears. He saw me crying and didn't say anything, but hugged me. It was sincere and warm. I wanted to stay with him forever, but I knew better, which made me cry harder. Alucard's point of view. Integra had been banging on the door for Clara to open. We were right behind her, exchanging looks. But Integra was looking away. She turned to me like she was saying, "Get in there before I will knock the door down." I walked through the wall, only to see Clara crying blood. I couldn't even laugh. I hugged her, knowing she might feel better, but she cried even harder. I knew she knew something, but she would never tell it. It was upsetting her, and it most likely dealt with me. "I know you don't want to tell me what is going on, but we really need you. Please, don't cry. I hate it when you cry," I said while lifting her head up, licking her bloody tears. "I understand. I just want to say that after the war, I might not see you for 30 years, she said, not crying. 30 years? Are you planning to run away? I said, smiling. No, something will happen to you, and you will be gone for 30 years, and I can't live life without you. I can't tell you how, but it will happen. I believe you, but you should word things differently, or someone could get the wrong idea. To remember me, I will give you this." I pulled out a black necklace with a blue gem shaped like a heart. She was so shocked she didn't even notice her mouth was wide open. I couldn't help but laugh. I put it around her neck, and while doing so, she kissed me more passionately than ever before. She really would miss me. I will be back. Clara's point of view. I loved him more than anything, and nothing could stop that. While he was putting on the necklace, I couldn't help myself. I loved him, and I needed to show him that. I knew he already knew that, but I couldn't help it. I could tell he was surprised, mainly because the impact pushed my tongue into his mouth. After a few seconds, he melted into the kiss, and then he broke the kiss. We stared at each other, then Integra kicked the door down. We started laughing. I got up and was smacked by Integra. It didn't hurt, so I just stood there taking the lecture. He didn't tell her anything I said about him being gone for 30 years. Time skip. I had come with Sir Integra and Ceres while Alucard was fighting Walter. We soon made it to the old robot's little room. Integra lost her eye, but killed him, and Alucard was gone. I couldn't move, but I felt weird. I looked over to Ceres and Integra, only to see both of them staring at me. I was glowing. I looked at my hands as they faded away. Soon I was on the street I had last been in my world. I looked the same, but realistic, and I knew what I truly was. I had all my stuff and walked to the house. It took a while, but I did. I checked my stomach, and there was a six-pack, and my hair had the red streak, but I decided to go back the way I truly looked. It worked. I transformed and looked at the necklace Alucard gave me. I knew that I would never stop loving him. I would make the most of my life and wait to go back to that world. And that is the end of that fanfiction. And I'm sorry if it wasn't as good as the other videos. It's been kind of a long week and week for me, so. Alrighty, peace out, night.